Hello everyone to the continuation of the previous lecture. So we will talking about the different ratios. Now we'll talk about the capital turnover ratio. We'll talk about capital turnover ratio. Okay, so working capital turnover is equal to sales or cost of sales to the working capital. Okay, so working capital turnover is further segregated into inventory turnover, debtors turnover, and creditors turnover. Okay. So basically, we can segregate the working capital turnover to a inventory turnover, debtors turnover, and creditors turnover. So what is inventory turnover ratio is? This ratio is also known as stock turnover ratio. It establishes the relationship between cost of the goods sold during the year and average inventory held during the year. It is calculated as follows. So inventory turnover basically is calculated as sales or cost of sales, average inventory. Okay, that is by adding the opening stock and the closing stock by 2. So that will give me inventory turnover ratio. So debtors turnover ratio will be, in this case, a firm sells goods or credit. The realization of sales revenue is delayed and their receivables are created. The cash is realized from these receivables later on. The speed with which these receivables are collected affects the liquidity position of the फर्म. ओके, जितनी स्पीड से रिसीवेबल कलेक्ट किए जाते हैं ये एक फर्म की लिक्विडिटी को इफेक्ट करता है. सो डेब्टर टर्नओवर रेशियो थ्रोज लाइट ऑन द करेक्शन एंड क्रेडिटेड पॉलिसीज ऑफ द फर्म. इट इज कैलकुलेटेड एज फॉलोज: क्रेडिट सेल्स बाय एवरेज डेब्टर्स और रिसीवेबल्स. हाउएवर द एवरेज कलेक्शन पीरियड कैन बी डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेटेड. ठीक है, एवरेज कलेक्शन पीरियड डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेट कैसे किया जा सकता है? बाय मल्टीप्लाइंग एवरेज रिसीवेबल्स एंड डेज, ओके, or the weeks or months by net credit sales. Okay, so now we'll talk about creditors turnover ratio. इसमें क्या होता है? This ratio is calculated on the same lines as the receivable turnover ratio is calculated. Okay, this ratio shows the velocity of debt payment by the firm. It is calculated as follows. Okay, क्रेडिटर्स टर्नओवर रेशियो इज इक्वल टू एनुअल नेट क्रेडिट परचेजेस बाय एवरेज अकाउंट्स पेएबल. ठीक है, एनुअल नेट क्रेडिट परचेजेस और उस एवरेज अकाउंट पेएबल के बीच में जो रेशियो है उसको हम क्रेडिटर्स टर्नओवर रेशियो कहते हैं. हाउएवर द एवरेज पेमेंट पीरियड कैन बी कैलकुलेटेड डायरेक्टली एज फॉलोज: एवरेज पेएबल इनटू डेज और वीक्स और मंथ्स बाय नेट क्रेडिट परचेजेस. ओके, थर्ड विल टॉक अबाउट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ratios. Okay, so the profitability ratios measure the profitability or operational efficiency of the firm. So किसी भी efficiency की profitability को measure करने के लिए हम profitability ratio का use करते हैं. This ratio affects the final results of the business operation. तो किसी भी business का जो final result है वो इस ratio के द्वारा affect किया जाता है. तो result of the firm can be evaluated in terms of earnings with reference to a given level of assets or level of owner's interest. Therefore, the profitability ratios are broadly classified into 4 categories. So, profitability ratio जो है हमारे 4 categories में विभाजित किया जा सकता है. First of all, profitability ratio required for analysis of owner's point of view से, दूसरा asset और investment के point of view से, then sales of the firm के view से, and then capital market information की view से. So, first of all, let's see profitability ratio required for analysis from the owner's point of view. Okay, तो इसमें पहला जो रेशियो है, अंडरस्टैंड, रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी. ओके, जो रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी है वो मेजर करता है प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ इक्विटी फंड्स इन्वेस्टेड इन द फर्म. ठीक है, जितना भी प्रॉफिट मेरे को इक्विटी फंड से आया है उसको मेजर करने के लिए हम रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी की बात करते हैं. दिस रेशियो रिवील्स हाउ प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ ओनर्स फंड्स हैव बीन यूटिलाइज्ड बाय द फर्म. दिस रेशियो इज कंप्यूटेड एज प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्सेस बाय नेटवर्थ. तो ये कैसे कैलकुलेट किया जाएगा? प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्सेस को मैं डिवाइड करूंगा नेटवर्थ से, देन दैट विल गिव मी रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी. ओके, सेकेंडली अर्निंग्स पर शेयर. ओके, so the profitability of firm from the point of view of ordinary shareholders can be measured in terms of number of equity shares. This is known as earnings per share. ठीक है, so earning per share कैसे कैलकुलेट किया जा सकता है? by net profit available to the equity holders by number of ordinary shares outstanding. Okay. The next is dividend per share. Okay, earnings per share is as stated above reflects the profitability of a firm per share. It does not reflect how much profit is paid as dividend and how much is retained by the business. Dividend per share ratio indicates the amount of profit distributed to shareholders per share. It is calculated as total profits obtained distributed to equity shareholders by number of equity shares. Okay. Next one is price earnings ratio. Okay. The price earning ratio indicates the expectations of the equity investor about the earnings of the firm. ठीक है, कितनी अर्निंग हुई है फर्म की, that will be represented by price earnings ratio. It relates earnings to the market price and is generally taken as summary measure of growth potential of an investment, risk characteristics, shareholder orientation, corporate image, and degree of liquidity. It is calculated as P ratio is equal to market price per share by earnings per share. Okay. Secondly, we will calculate profitability ratio based on assets and investment. Okay. इसमें क्या क्या आएगा, return on capital employed to or return on investment. Okay. So return of investment is the most important ratio of all. ठीक है, सबसे important ratio होता है. It is the percentage of return on funds invested in business by its owners. In short, this ratio tells owner whether or not all the efforts put into the business has been worthwhile or not. ठीक है, तो कितना भी उसने बिजनेस में जितना एफर्ट्स लगाया है उससे सही में कुछ यूज़ हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है, ये हमें बताता है रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट. ओके. सो रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट इज कैलकुलेटेड एज रिटर्न बाय कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड, वेयर रिटर्न इज इक्वल टू नेट प्रॉफिट. ओके, रिटर्न हमारा नेट प्रॉफिट है. नेट प्रॉफिट टू द कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड विल गिव मी रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट. कितना आपने कैपिटल एम्प्लॉय किया है उससे आपको कितना रिटर्न मिला है, दैट विल बी डिसाइडेड बाय रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट रेशियो. Okay, capital employed is equal to equity share capital, that is reserve and surplus, preference share capital, debentures and other long-term loan, miscellaneous expenditure and losses, non-trade investment. Intangible assets. Okay, assets which have no physical existence like goodwill, patents and trademarks should be included in the capital employed, but no fictitious assets should be included within the capital employed. So हमें यहाँ पे intangible assets को तो include करना है जिसकी कोई एक्चुअली फिजिकल एग्जिस्टेंस नहीं होती, जैसे कि गुडविल हो गया, पेटेंट हो गया, ट्रेडमार्क हो गया, लेकिन उसके सिवाय कोई भी फिक्टिशियस एसेट हमें इसमें जोड़ना नहीं है. नेक्स्ट इज रिटर्न ऑन एसेट्स. ओके, सो रिटर्न ऑन एसेट्स में क्या होगा, द प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी रेशियो इज मेजर्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन नेट प्रॉफिट एंड एसेट्स एम्प्लॉयज टू अर्न दैट प्रॉफिट. दिस रेशियो मेजर्स द प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ द फर्म. In terms of assets employed in the firm, ROA may be measured as follows. Average total assets, ROA is equal to net profit after taxes by average tangible assets. Okay. Third is profitability ratio based on sales of a firm. Okay. So इसमें आएगा सबसे पहले gross profit ratio, that is gross profit into 100 divided by sales. Okay. Next is operating profit ratio, that could be calculated by operating profit by sales into 100. Then net profit, operating profit कैसे calculate किया जा सकता है, sales minus operating cost will give me the operating profit. Okay. Net profit ratio कैसे calculate किया जाता है, net profit by sales, okay, into 100. Okay. Then investors and other ratios. Frequently share price data are punched with accounting data to generate new set of information. These are price earning ratio, yield, market value, book value. ठीक है. So price earning ratio is MPS by EPS, where MPS is the market price share and EPS is the earning price share. It indicates the payback period to the investors or prospective investors. So dividend ratio is DPS by MPS into 100 and earning yield ratio is EPS by MPS into 100. So now we'll see what are the application of all these ratios in financial डिसीजन मेकिंग, ठीक है. So a popular technique of analyzing the performance of a business concern is that of financial ratio analysis. As a tool of financial management, they are crucial significance. Okay, the importance of ratio analysis lies in the fact that it presents the fact of comparative basis and enables drawing of inferences regarding the performance of firm. Ratio analysis is relevant in assessing the performance of a firm in respect to the following aspects. So basically रेशियो एनालिसिस हमें एक तरह से कंपैरिजन करने में हेल्प करता है, जिससे कि हम एफिशिएंटली बता सकें कि हमारा जो बिजनेस है वो कितना ग्रो कर रहा है, ठीक है. सो फाइनेंशियल रेशियोज फॉर इवैल्यूएटिंग द परफॉर्मेंस. तो सबसे पहले लिक्विडिटी पोजीशन. सो विद द हेल्प ऑफ रेशियो एनालिसिस वन कैन ड्रॉ रिगार्डिंग लिक्विडिटी पोजीशन ऑफ द फर्म. Liquidity position of a firm would be satisfactory if it is able to meet its obligation when they become due. This ability is reflected in the liquidity ratios of a firm. The liquidity ratios are particularly useful in credit analysis by banks and other suppliers of the short-term loans. तो सबसे पहले हमें हेल्प करते हैं रेशियो लिक्विडिटी पोजीशन समझने के लिए कि कोई भी लिक्विडिटी हमारी जो ड्यू है वो हम कैसे रिकवर कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. ओके, so that ability is reflected in the liquidity ratio of the firm. Okay, so it is basically useful in credit analysis by banks and other suppliers of short term loans. Then next is long term solvency. So ratio analysis is useful for assessing the long term financial viability of a firm. This aspect of the financial position of a borrower is of the concern to the long-term creditors, security analysts, and the present and potential owners of the business. Okay, the long-term solvency is measured by leverage to the capital structure and profitability ratios, which focuses on earning power and operating efficiency.